Welcome to Charting Cryptos and Commodities for Wednesday, the 12th of October. We're going to jump into cryptos first and then switch over to commodities. Again, folks, I sound like a broken record. I just keep repeating again and again and again. Where are cryptocurrencies? We're waiting for market capitulation. When is it just going to give up the ghost? And about that time, you'll see things take off. How long could it be? I don't know, 2 years, a week, 6 months. Nobody knows. But what do we see? Well, we see Bitcoin continuing to hang out here around these same lows. That's been happening since June. Does that mean we've reached the bottom? No. We are in negative territory. Of course, we have a downtrend because we are below the 200 EMA. This is our weekly chart. And of course, where Bitcoin goes, everything else goes. Now, we look at where things are with Ethereum. It is again in negative territory. It had popped up for a few weeks back in July, and then about the beginning of August, mid of August, started moving over sideways and then down. So it's hanging out below its 200 EMA. Of course, every day we track for you XBTF. It's not been around long enough to have a 200 EMA. If we look at this chart, we can tighten it up and show you that it's only been around since November of last year. So again, we'll keep an eye on it, let you know as things move along. The thing I like about XBTF and those other two Bitcoin future, short-term future ETFs is they are not traded at crypto exchanges, but in the regular market. So your favorite online broker. So whenever things do take off, this is the reason we are practice trading this all the time. Don't forget you also have BITI, which is an inverse fund, an inverse short-term future on Bitcoin. So that's just more opportunities. Of course, every week we also like to look at where BIT, that BITW, that is the Bitwise 10 Crypto Index Fund. What is that? That is the top 10 cryptocurrencies balanced per market cap, weighted that way. So Bitcoin is the big dog there. And again, it doesn't have a 200 EMA for us. We can find a 200 EMA. That was on the weekly. We can find one on the 2-day, and you can see just how far below it is there. And again, just waiting for the whole crypto market to stabilize and start to move up, because you can see how well it moved down. We'll wait and see when it starts going up. We will be standing by. We will be ready to rock and roll. That's why we follow it every day, because it is important. And when it does turn around, like we've seen in the past when it's going up, we can look to follow it. So be ready. Practice trade, keep your powder dry. Now let's go on to our commodities. And where are commodities for the week? Well, we'll start where things are going, at least up for the day. We see that the United States Gasoline Fund, after bottoming out back on the week beginning the 26th of September most recently, heading up these last 2 weeks, still red on the STC, but it is above the 200 EMA. We are watching it go up now. If you look in the past, you can see that again, those green candles have for the most part continued for quite a while. And with the things we see going on in Western Europe, things we see going on in Eastern Europe, the things we see going on with the Saudis cutting back the oil that's going to go in the market, I just think, and the charts are showing us that is heading up. Now, I've been encouraging you guys to at least take a look at these commodities. If you want to know what's going on in the world, if you're not even going to trade, at least you can hear the news. And I think one thing about seeing the truth convinces you more than anything else is you'll hear all the talk on the news. Then you can look at what's really going on by checking out the commodities, because they actually tell you and show you what's going on in the big, wider world. Now, that is where we are with gas. Let's look at the next one. We have RJZ. Sorry, that is a total metals return. This is another one of those Jim Rogers funds, and we can see that it has over the last few weeks moved below the 200 MA, touched it this last week. This week sort of hard to even see what's going on, but again, metals aren't showing us any sharp rise at this time. What about feedstocks like soybeans? Well above the 200 EMA. Gone down for a while, up for a little bit, burning some of that off right now, not telling us a whole lot looking at that weekly chart, except we're in positive territory there. Be looking to see if and when the STC goes to green, since it's primed for that. Of course, we cover gold with you every day. Doesn't hurt on Wednesdays to back up and see what's actually going on these big charts with everything. Gold is below that 200 EMA. You guys know we initiated a short trade recently. Red on the STC on that on the weekly. The 2-day I believe is up. Yes, the 2-day is green. I don't mean up in price, but as far as the STC goes, and down on the half day. So we're keeping a close eye on that because that is a little iffy. What about sugar cane? Sugar cane is booming up this week after a little bit of indecision last week, after sort of a long slide sideways down, but above that 200 EMA, looking to see if and when things convert over. Did okay this last time, didn't it? When sugarcane popped, boom. We actually caught a piece of that. I can see right there in another trade. So keep an eye on cane if you're interested in that. What about copper? Now, copper shows us sort of what's going on business cycles. Copper's used a bunch in industrial productions. And look at copper. It's also used in the building trade, all that. It's in negative territory. Ain't doing much. Telling us something there. What about corn? Well, corn rotated over. Look at this. Finally going to green. We can see where the price rotated over back in at the beginning of August. And now as we get into October, it's gone from red to green on the STC. Has a ways to go before it reaches those latest highs. So we'll keep an eye on corn. Of course, you would expect corn to be going up. People and animals live on it. What about RJI? Now that is the Rogers International Commodities Index Total Structured Product. What do we see there? Well, it's moving up. STC still negative there. How about silver, my friends? Tried to pop up last week and then just sort of dying this week. STC's heading up, but that doesn't do much for us because we're in negative territory. Wouldn't be jumping into an up trade when it's below the 200 EMA. What about the wheat? When we come to wheat, super important. You can see wheat did a long-term trade now, moving in the right direction. We jumped in way back, and I'm trying to remember, was that on the 2-day? I think that, yes, it was. It was on the 2-day chart. It's sort of been slowly bantering up. We'll keep an eye on it. This week down some. So we'll see which way wheat is going, particularly as we get into the harvest and out of the harvest season and into the winter months. Oil popping up over the last 2 weeks in positive territory. Hadn't gone green yet. And we look at, this is a big one, our natural gas. Where is it? All that talk about needs for natural gas, and you hear that on the news all the time, don't you, my friends? Natural gas, natural gas. There's no natural gas. Well, why in the world has it been coming down, 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 down? Do keep an eye on it. It may bounce off this 200 EMA like it did last time and boom up. So keep that if you're interested in tracking some of these commodities and following them. And of course, coffee, I drink it every morning throughout the day. Love it. I'm glad to see the price in coffee burning off a little bit after it hit its most recent high back in that week beginning the 22nd of August. So again, red on the STC, but it's still in that positive territory above the 200 EMA. That's what we see in commodities, my friends. Opportunities always abounding. Pay attention. Practice trade. You can do it. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World headquarters.